picked him, and he walked across that stage. Welcome in, Jim.
Neither has Kyle.
What?
Neither has Kyle.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Kyle with the phone booth take from yesteryear, GMFB edition. Jamie Manti, Mike G, and Kyle. We got to talk Stafford, as Kyle mentioned. Enough about these coaching changes and hirings and interviews. We have conference championship weekend ahead of us. The Rams have to go up to Seattle to take on the Seahawks, a divisional foe, someone Stafford is quite comfortable with. But it feels after 17 years in the NFL, Stafford knows how to pick apart any team. It's a long career, and perhaps he has peaked this last season as an MVP candidate. It's an incredible performance with him, and it begs us to ask this question. What would another Super Bowl win do for his career? Manti, to say another one is in and of itself really impressive, but you have to consider the age and the time in which he is doing this.
Yeah, to say another one is something that a lot of quarterbacks in his genre, in his altitude couldn't say, right? So to say that you're a multiple-time Super Bowl champ, I think just solidifies the Hall of Fame title. I also think that it puts him in the first ballot Hall of Fame title, especially when you're in a top 10 list that he's in all time. He's 6th all-time in completions. He's 6th all-time in passing yards. He's 7th all-time in passing TDs. And he's tied for first with the most seasons with 40 or more touchdowns. Now, this is what really stands out to me. There's a receiver. There are 2 receivers with the most receiving yards in the NFL season. One, matter of fact, his name is Megatron. That was in 2012. The guy who's in second is Cooper Kupp. Guess who their quarterbacks were? Matt Stafford.
At the hand of Stafford.
1 and 2. So it's not only his numbers, but it's the numbers that he's giving his guys, right? Those are the guys that he's thrown the ball to throughout his career. And they're 1 and they're 2. And then you got Puka Nacua, who set a whole bunch of rookie records in 2023. His quarterback was Matt Stafford. So there's a common denominator with this quarterback and all of these elite wide receivers. But if he were to get this second Super Bowl, Jamie, and if he were to get the NFL MVP, he joins the list of Peyton Manning, John Elway, Bart Starr, Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
That's that list.
It's a good list.
So if you're asking me what a second Super Bowl win would do for this quarterback,
that logo on the left side of the screen there?
Yeah, this is he's in elite company, and there's not a lot of quarterbacks that can say that. And if Matt Stafford can do it, Mike G, welcome to that list.
Those guys up there, I think they've all played for either 1 or 2 teams, max, if I'm not mistaken, on that list right there. Matthew Stafford had a chance to play for a 3rd coming into the season. The Raiders were hard after him. The Giants were hard after him. There was a thought of, well, I could play in Vegas. It's close enough to Los Angeles. It could be some kind of commute-ish situation where my family could stay in L.A. and I could play in Vegas. And in the end, he decided, no, I'm going to take a little bit less money, and I'm going to stay with the Rams. It's given me the best chance to win a championship and to play in a system with Sean McVay. For Matthew Stafford was who he was at this point in his career, and for his entire career, I think it was the best decision, Kyle, and I think it got him in the best possible spot.
Remind me, Mike, did you go for Stafford for MVP?
I did not. No, I went Drake May.
I did,
it was
too.
Tough. It was tough.
So if you and I both voted for Drake May, how come every single second of every single game we're talking about Matthew Stafford as presumptive MVP? We think he's going to win MVP. Maybe he's not. We have 2 voters right here who voted for Drake May.
Yeah, it's going to be close. And if you look at what's happening now and you go, well, you see, the voting's done at the end of the regular season.
I know.
Which sucks because he could go on a tear this weekend and take him to the Super Bowl, and maybe Drake May does.
What's
and
interesting?
Go, hey, what am I voting? No,
yeah, because they might play in the Super Bowl, and they'll be sitting there.
Which would be great.
And, like, Stafford has been spectacular this year. My justification was always, I think Dre did so much more with so much less. And I just think, like, McVay is so good and the Rams' weapons are so good. My nuclear take was that if Jimmy Garoppolo started the entire season for the Rams, I think they would have been in the wild card conversation. I think they would have been sitting there. Like, they're just that good. So never mind, no offense to Stafford or anything like that. And by the way, Mike does bring up the interesting point. I think it was very, very close from him leaving L.A. Like, very close. In fact, McVay was on our show saying that, like, they were looking into Rodgers. Like, Rodgers was going to be a Ram if Stafford left. I think that was a few weeks from now, and Stafford is at another parade with another Lombardi. He's doing it at a late age with a gray beard and all these kids. Like, God, he's one of the all-timers. He's in that group of now 14 people with 2 Super Bowls, and he's as talented as any other because the last thing I have to say about Stafford is this week is you want a parade. We have thrown a parade in Chicago, Illinois, and in every city of the United States about the throw that Caleb made to Cole Kmet, and it was spectacular. The throw that Stafford made to Devontae is so idiotically talented, and the rear view of it, which I know we have, never mind running backwards like Tecmo Bowl and chucking up a prayer. Look at that laser from the right hash across his body into a thimble. Like that. This is an old man, the quarterback. This is a guy not right out of Georgia. His arm's supposed to be getting tired and like a wet noodle. This throw in those conditions with those stakes against that coverage I'm insulting it to say it's a 10 out of 10. It is an all-time throw, all-time. And it was a huge moment of the game, too. So everything is coming up Stafford right now, unless he somehow gets waxed this weekend. But this is when legacies change. This is when top 5 lists change. This is when podcasts change, getting and winning to more Super Bowls, and he's just 2 wins away.
Kyle, you're the one that brought it up. It always feels like this inside joke, inside secret, the fact that you two are openly talking about your MVP votes. You both just admitted that you sent in your ballot. And am I correct in thinking that you send in your top 5 MVP votes? So you both just admitted that you have Drake May at 1. Am I of the understanding that did you both have Stafford at 2?
Yep. Yeah, I had Stafford at 2, and I think I had McCaffrey at 3. Would you? You remember who had 3 MVP?
They were all quarterbacks because
they were.
Anytime you talk MVP, that valuable, I can't not give it to
I was going to vote McCaffrey 1 for MVP until the last game of the season. I think he blew it. I talked about it.
Manti, what would you have in your top 2?
I would switch mine. I'd put Matt Stafford at number 1, and I'll put Drake May at number 2. Now, I do agree. I do see where KB was coming from in regards to what Drake May had to work with and what Matt Stafford is working with. I also have to put into consideration who Matt Stafford played. The NFC West is one of those divisions where you're going against some of the top defenses every single week. Now, I would love to ask my brother KB a question because he did bring up a point about Matt Stafford and his career while he was with the Detroit Lions. And are you saying, brother, that you don't consider him a top 10 quarterback because of his inability to make it to the playoffs the first few years, a whole bunch of years when he was in Detroit? Is that what you're saying?
I think it's part of it, yeah. And listen, they had a couple tough breaks in Detroit, and Detroit had to work against a lot of things and scar tissue and history and all of that. But I mean, it's not even a me thing. It's just round up anybody you want. Like, is Matt Stafford a top 10 all-time quarterback? Like, I just don't think you can find that opinion anywhere. But it's changing in real time, and that's what's at stake here. It's really, really cool. And Manti, your point about his receivers tree is amazing. Like, Calvin Johnson is Calvin Johnson, but like Cooper Kupp had a triple crown. Like, do you think he's doing that as a member of the Saints or Broncos or Panthers? Puka Nacua, we love him, but like, is it that everybody just completely whiffed on him? If he's down there right now with Bryce Young, or if he's somewhere, name your team. Is he doing what he did this year? No, of course not. Really talented guy, but Stafford makes those guys brilliant.
To your point, Kyle, it's like Stafford is putting himself in that conversation of when you are sitting around the bar talking about your favorite quarterbacks ever, and then someone brings up Stafford. You're like, oh, yeah, that guy. Like, you just constantly have to include him in consideration. We'll see how the next couple of weeks go for Matthew Stafford and company. Moving on GMFB, NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport joining us this morning. Rap Sheet.